I, self-Lord and Master, says the same thing. You must be born again. And I'm not talking about go back into the womb of your mother. I'm talking about coming out of the womb of darkness in your mind. Because as you know, everything comes from the mind. All thoughts come from the mind. Whatever you think of and you create, it came from your mind. I might even go a little higher. When you open up your eyes and you look outside and you see the sun, moon, and stars, it's there because you made it happen. Because it comes from your mind. If you didn't have a mind, it wouldn't even be there because you didn't be looking up to make it happen. Might sound a little strange, but think about it. Everything is a reality in your mind. The cars that you drive, the planes that you fly, the farms that you grow to feed yourself, the houses that you build to shelter yourself. Everything comes from your mind. A creation made manifest from the thought of what you want to do. So we're talking about resurrecting ourselves mentally, meaning that with your mind, you can change the world. You think you can? Think again. There's a saying, there's a group called Tavares, and they made a song, check out your mind, you might be surprised what you might find. Okay? I'm talking real talk, I'm not talking no nonsense. I'm talking straight up real talk. Get into it. Start studying. Start listening to your brothers and sisters that really got love in their heart for you. Start. Listen, I got a young daughter. She's my youngest child. She puts a gleam in my eye because she's always telling me, Dad, I'm studying this and I'm studying this, and the more I'm studying, the more I'm starting to see things differently. I said, man, that is great. And she's my youngest child. But just by her doing some studying, it's starting to let her see. And that's what I'm saying. If it can happen to her, it can happen to you. If it can happen to me, it can happen to you. But you gotta give it some thought and put it in action. That's why we say be 5%, because people will tell you many different things about the pie. But I know a pie is 100%. And if you cut that pie up, and you cut it up into many different percentages, many different divisions. And in that pie, we got a large percentage of the world that we call 85. And we got another part of that world we call 10. And we got another part of that world we call 5. 85 is a lot of that pie. I'm talking about the earth, the population, who are sheep. 10% of that pie are the shepherds that guide them sheep, keep them blind, deaf, and dumb. 5% of that pie are the power, which is the truth that y'all read about when y'all talk about December the 25th. When y'all talk about a man named Jesus, who we know his name wasn't Jesus, but we know Jesus just means just us. Who taught against that 10% trying to wake up the 85%, and what they say they did to him was crucify him because he was upsetting the pie. He was trying to take all that which the 10% take from 85% and give it to the 85%. He was one of the 5% who they hated. And y'all talk about him this month. Y'all say he was born December the 25th. Whatever month we all say he was born, you know he was a 5%? You know what his job was? He said, I come to do the work of the Father. You know what that job was? to teach freedom, justice, and equality. He was a 5%. Anybody that's teaching freedom, justice, and equality is the 5%. We gotta realize what part of the pie we are. And if we ain't doing something to do something right to get the poison out of that pie, we need to start checking ourselves out. Check out ourselves. Start making changes out here. Because it ain't gonna work if you don't change it, brother and sister. If you let it remain the same, the world is gonna get better. Tell me this. Talk back to me. If you got a piece of poison on your table and you don't do something about it, you just sit there and eat it, how the hell are things gonna get better? I think it's just gonna get worse for you. That's what I mean by changing things, getting rid of the poison. Hey, acknowledge the situation, acknowledge what's going on. All around you see breakouts, unlawfulness, from the highest to the lowest, and from the lowest to the highest. You can't even walk down the street in New York City without watching your back. There is no peace. There's corruption in the mind. The mind has become corrupt. Poison is seeping all in the mind. And you think it's not a battle to try to straighten things up? Huh? This is a manifestation of the mind right now. Everything you see is a manifestation of the mind. You don't understand what I'm saying? There's poison all out here in this mind that we call our law. You think the evil is not doing their job? They've been doing it for 6 days, 6,000 years. They know damn well what they're doing. The problem is the people that are illiterate don't know what's happening. They rather go listen to the blind and try to let the blind lead them. One of my brothers made a song. He said, how can the blind lead the blind? For sure, both of them will fall in the ditch. Many of my people go to the blind for guidance. That don't make no sense. Going to the blind for guidance. They blind themselves. All they gonna do is make you more blind. And that's really what they're supposed to be doing. That's their job. They have accepted that for themselves. And they trick you up. Some of them are on the tape. They get money to lead you in the wrong direction. So, gods and earths, brothers and sisters, look in the mirror. Look around you. See who's around you. Get to know who's around you. Be glad to see your brother. Be glad to see your sister. Be glad to see that there's people like you. We call them Aelite. That you're not alone. That you have a family. That you can be proud of. That you can say peace, love, and happiness to. That you can hold hands with. That you can go down the street and know that you got somebody by your side. Understand, we are a family. A universal, righteous, divine family. And we have to act as family. We're not here to destroy each other. We're here to help each other. We're here to build each other. That is the understanding of being supreme. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This is not a club. This is not a game. This is a universal nation who stands on the pillars of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, equality, love, peace, and happiness, food, clothing, and shelter. The 12 pillars that we stand on. And we stand supreme. And we know that we have an enemy that don't love us. That's why it is incumbent upon each and every one of us to love ourselves. And therefore, stop being a victim to the evils of this planet we call Earth. And destroy that poison that's in the mind that we call our law. Why I say the law is the mind? Because the law is the creator and the mind creates it all. That's what we're here to do. If you're not here for that, you're in the wrong place. All right? You're in the wrong place. But you're in the right place if you want to get somewhere in life. When you go to school, you listen to the teacher. Get to know some brothers and sisters in here that can be your teacher. Everybody got to get taught. From one came many. From Allah came the nation. And even Allah was taught. And he was the cream that rose to the what? The top. And the cream is sweet. That's why you want the cream. And that's exactly why this is sweet. Because it's the cream. When you get it, you start saying, boy, this is delicious. I like this. Why should I go back to that bitter crap when I got the sweet cream? This is the best part, because it makes you proud to be who you are. You know? You know that saying, I'm black and I'm... It makes you proud to be who you are. And you got something to live for. Not just because you was born physically. You got something to live for, to let your light shine and let people see how sweet you got it and how sweet it really is. Because if you could give somebody something sweet, they say you catch, what? With a whole lot of honey? Honey is sweet. Allah gave us the cream. He showed us something that attracted us. We loved it. And that's why we got to keep on doing what we do. Love this. Love yourself. Understand you are in the temple, the highest of the high. Like they say, the Most High. Well, that's you. That is actually, truly, undeniably you. And if you don't know it, what did he say? Yes, that's what he said. He said, now you know it. When you know it. Don't kid yourself. Because you learned the first degree in the school of Roman, don't mean that you got it to the top. But like my brother Rajad used to say, so they just mastered the first degree in the school of Roman. They were doing good. Because that first degree tells you so much. It tells you who you are. It tells you everything about you. It tells you you're the maker and the owner of all this, of your very situation in life. It tells you you're exactly where you're at because you put yourself there. You make it, you own it. You can be the queen if you make it sweet and good for yourself. And you the father. The father is the one that brings things into existence. They say it's called fat herb. Fat herb means the one that impregnates things and rises it from a state of babyhood into a man or womanhood. Impregnated with the truth. Impregnated with something that's going to bring you from knowledge to bone. God is the universe. The universe as above, so below. When you look at the universe, you see the sun, moon, and stars. You see every star has its own system. Every star has its own system. Every man in here is a star. You have your own system. Your system is your family, your earth, your children, the planets that rotate around. That is your sister. Every man here is a star. He is the light. They call him the Son of Man. The S-U-N, who has a system that is being controlled by him, whether you know it or not. As above, bring it down here. The system's right here. You got suns, you got moons, you got earths, you got systems right here. Control your system, understand your system. Bring them together so it could be a universal system. Like I said, as I'm a close, we are family. One family. Get to know your family. Know who your brother and your sister is. Find out what's going on. And realize you're not alone. You're only alone if you want to be alone. Look around, you'll see your brothers and your sisters sitting here. We call them what? Our day of life. At the same time, get to know who don't countries. They got them too. Because everything is what? Real. You got the good, you got the bad, and you got the people that just come in your face and say, please, get away from me. God don't love ugly. All right? That's us. This is December, the last month in the year of 2024. We spring into a new year. That's only in the United States. You go to other parts of the world, they got New Year's, they corresponding with this. Understand everything is not controlled by the United States. Everybody don't go according to what the European says. They got their own calendars. They got their own way of thinking, their own way of being. It ain't nothing wrong with being different, especially if your difference is going to help you. Too many of our people is worried about, I don't want to change, don't want to change, don't make waves. Just go, get along. What they say, go along to get along. So you're going to go along with stupidity just to get along. So what that makes you? I think that the ones that are here said, hell with that. I'm not going along just to get along. Where done got me? Where done got my people? Nowhere. But what? Blood, sweat, and what? Tears. Our lessons say, hard times, hunger, nakedness, and out of what? Same thing. Same thing. Saying it a different way. Same damn thing. Why in the world would I want to go along to get along? While they stepping on me each and every day, each and every way. Please. Please. That don't make no damn what sense. Who the hell are we? Are we that stupid? I think some of us are. Look around. There's a whole lot. That's when you say, damn, I stand alone. Well, be strong. Stand alone and be strong. Guess what? You'll be the razor, the two-edged sword that chop it up and make it right. You heard about the two-edged sword, right? They tell you, one of our brothers, they say, the tongue that came out of his mouth was like a two-edged sword. He chopped it left, chopped it right. You couldn't mess with it. You know why? Because he had truth. And if you got truth, you'll see your sword. You are that sword. We call it the sword of what? Justice. That chops left and chops right. That's who you are. That's who Allah is. You got to cut it down. If you don't cut them weeds down, what's going to happen? They're going to keep poisoning the well, poisoning the mind. We got to chop this crap down. Cut it out. Get rid of the poison. Get rid of the cancer that exists out here. You know cancer kills. What the hell do you think the devil is all about? Making you feel good. Don't kid yourself. And the best thing you can do is don't allow yourself to be like them. Don't allow yourself to be like them. You know them. Don't allow yourself to be like them. If you do that, you know right then and there something's wrong with you. Something is wrong with you if you do that. And if you know there's something wrong with you, what do you do when you see something wrong? You change it. You make it right. That's why I said, look in the mirror. Because that person in the mirror is looking back at you. You know? And I'm going to say this because I said I was finished. You know something that I found out, man? The mirror is your world. I ain't talking about the mirror that you're looking at the bathroom. I'm talking about the mirror is your world. You make your world. You look at your world each and every day, and you see your world looking back at you. That's your mirror. You want to make things good in your mirror? Make things good in the world. Because the world is your all-eye-seeing mirror. You don't think so? Check it out. You'll see the world looking right back at you. It'll either look at you and say, peace, God, or it'll look at you and say, you need to get it together. Huh? Yeah, man. There ain't no damn joke. I know because I done looked at the mirror. And I saw the mirror looking back at me. And I said, I like this, I like that, I don't like this, I don't like that. Make sure I'm all right where I stand. Because I got a place to stand just like everybody else. In this reality. The last thing, you know they say, Mecca is where you make it, where you stand is your best part. That's you. And everything emanates from you. The source of energy, source of life is you. And everything emanates from you. That's why they say you are the maker. December, divine equality seat. Yeah, we are divine. And we are the equality that is supreme, that must see and be seen. Because Allah is not just a seer, He is seen and heard everywhere.
This is a dead side.
But He is the All-Wise.
It's too much work.
And when you think things ain't known, that nobody else see what you do, you know what you
Got each other's technology.
Yeah. You. So everything is seen. Because even if nobody knows, you know. So don't act like it's not known. Peace.
Peace to the gods and earth. I come in the name of the Lord, why Sharif Allah. Today's man is good with wisdom. And the 140 says, how old was the founder? Yaqub was 6 years old while playing with 2 pieces of steel. Discovered that one had magnetic and one did not. Peace. What I want to speak on today is the power of us as gods. Now, the foundation to our power is 120. And that power gives us the power to build and represent God. The lesson said God is seen and heard everywhere. How is that done? Through our physical composition and the solids, liquids, and gases, the science of everything in life. We represent the true and living God on the physical manifestation. We represent guardians of the people that don't know who the true and living God is and don't want to recognize the true and living God. They want to, see him as a mystery that you pray to in the church. But the science of everything in life tells us that everything is solid, liquids, and gases. So if we say we God in the physical manifestation, how do we show and prove that? Through our knowledge and wisdom. Through the science, the history. But most of all, a lot of us look at the numbers. It ain't like it used to be. What's the problem? We stagnated, a lot of us. What I mean by stagnated is we not, repping like we used to years ago. The power of the true and living God is not represented, and the numbers, our numbers. And so many of us went home, and we asked ourselves the question, why? Why are so many of us going home in such a short period of time? Since the pandemic, right, 4 or 5 years ago, so many of us went home. Medical issues, other issues. But now we got to start to build up again. We got to recognize we are that God, right, representing God is also our guardian. Right? When we got problems, speak with ourselves, speak with your inner self, speak with your God. And he's going to direct you on how to deal with those problems. Because everything ain't physical. Everything is not on a physical manifestation. The lessons say, fast and pray to Allah. Fast and pray to yourself. Meditate. There's a lot of things that we can do to represent God. When we say peace, God, that's a science. That manifests creative power. When we say anything about God's cycle divine, that is the science. But a lot of us don't pay attention to that science. That's why we said the lesson 120 is the foundation. You got to continue to review your lesson in order to build, to be born. Knowledge is born every day, every night. We're traveling around in this wilderness now. This is going back to the wilderness of North America. You see all the violence that's happening out there? People dying, all these different, dramas. We don't want to hear about none of us being caught up in this drama with these crazy-ass gang members and whatnot. Excuse my expression, out there. We don't want to hear about none of our earths being caught up in that. None of our gods being caught up in that. So we got to constantly keep abreast with the government issues and what's going on out there in the wilderness. Because when the people say, oh my God, God is my protection, what God is that referring to? We represent, we say that we the only gods, there ain't no mystery God, but we have family that may believe in another God. How do we show them love? How do we protect them if they don't want to recognize us as a true and living God? But we still protect them. We represent their guardians. We do what we can for them. Show them the love that we have. God, Allah told us at the Parliament in 1967, Mount Morris Park. He told us that we was guardians and we were pace setters of the world. So we have to continue to be guardians of ourselves because God, representing God, is our guardian. And we have to be protecting the children and the earth. We have to recognize that. If we don't keep representing and speaking about God's life divine and, doing what's right, doing what's right. We got to do what's right. We got to build righteous power. That's what mathematics is about. A lot of us don't have the opportunities to, get certain jobs, opportunities to get certain good fortune in our life. But we still must do what's right. That's the only way you're going to represent God, sanctify, and build your righteous power. I'm going to take too much. Peace, proper education always corrects errors.
Hey!
Peace.
Hey!
Thank you, Elisha. I appreciate you letting me go. My brother Elisha gave me 2 minutes. Maybe I'll take 7. But of course, I want to start off by giving all praises to Allah, the God of my brothers who actually met him and witnessed his power. Some of the things they experience, when you speak about it, people get spooked out. So I'm not going to bring that kind of stuff up. But I am grateful for the firstborn of Mecca, because they were the ones that came to Medina and brought the knowledge during this week. APG number 7 may have been the first one because he already had a relationship with some of the brothers in Medina. But Black Mac also came down and they really looked up to him. And they did the teaching and training. Martial arts, self-defense, lessons, mathematics. They took them through and prepared them to come meet Allah and be able to understand what he's saying. This season, or let's say the reason for this season is Jesus, one of our righteous brothers. Jesus to us was taught is just us, right? As the Son of Man was born in Medina within this week, because the actual birth of Jesus Christ was not given exactly, so we're not celebrating that Son of Man. You know what I'm saying? But we know Nas came to Medina during this week, and the Son of Man was born in Medina. So I'm very happy to see in the gym that the brothers are continuing something that Allah started, which was a gift exchange or a gift giveaway towards our children. It's very important that we are productive members of society and we participate in the things we got to participate in without compromising our values. Allah taught us that, or not Allah taught us because I was one of the ones that was blessed, but his sons taught me that Allah said, and I also heard it on that tape, but the wealth of any nation is the children. If we don't show them we value them, then we're going to have those problems that the brother was just speaking about. Empty seats, and everybody in here probably over, the youngest person is, what? Who's younger than 20? Yeah, one old motherfucker that been 23 times.
64, that's right.
Yeah. So, when these brothers that are here, that were here with Allah, they were the ones that were here building. You know what I'm saying? Now we're giving away toys, so they got that there, but it all happened in one place. There was no separation. The children were among the adults. You know what I'm saying? And it's important that we keep that in mind, because that's the only thing that's going to keep them coming and make this knowledge applicable to them. They got to hear the language. They got to see the social equality. They got to be exposed to righteousness, because it ain't no mystery. The Immaculate Conception comes to the supreme equality, which we uphold through doing the work. Maintaining that supreme equality, calling your brother, checking on him, telling him if he got a booger on his nose, telling him when you're fucking up, period. Right? Because we acknowledge our equality. That's who we are. We're here to teach freedom, justice, and equality, just like our brother Jesus did. So that's just us. We're our own Lord and Savior. We are the truth and the light in this day and time. So it's important on a day like today where we're doing something for children, that people bring children first of all, and if you don't bring children, that you could at least donate or participate or volunteer to make sure that the children that do come feel welcome, and not only feel welcome, when they leave here, they want to tell their whole crew, the whole block about it. Everybody got to be jealous of them the way we were jealous of the brothers that were in the guards. The guards were the coolest dudes when I was coming up, and I know before me it was even worse. They spoke the swiftest, they dressed the swiftest, had the best jobs, had the prettiest girls. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a question, that's what I wanted to be. But nowadays, if you look at our circumference, our young are not coming around as we used to. Nobody wants to be old and sick, and that's what you see around mostly now. And that's just facts. Dudes that have been around and you know, are by themselves, they don't have their families anymore. It's very important. Man, woman, and child. That's the center of this universe, of this flag. There's a few other things that I want to address. One of them would be the Son of Man newsletter, the 5% Digest. I slowed down for the fall season and I just produced one issue for the whole fall because I'm gauging who's really interested, because we do need to start subscriptions. I've been getting a lot of inquiries from jails and brothers that correspond with jails. So for them, I may have to start printing. And one of the days that I want to honor one of the firstborn in Medina, Jakeem Mathematics, that he told me, when he told me why he wanted executed with the Son of Man, is that he wanted a real magazine. That costs money. I had to put together a more professional staff than what I got now. We've been putting it off the way we're doing it, but we have to reduce the stress, and we have to get certain numbers in order. Like once I have a certain amount of subscriptions, then I know, okay, so this is bringing in $1,000 a month, so it costs us $500 to print out these magazines. We have $500 to donate towards Children's Day or, you know, Sean Brew, whatever we decide to donate it to. But these things make it viable. Right now, all I'm getting is rumors. People come and telling me that other people are asking. Nobody's emailing the Son of Man remastered@gmail.com. It is of the utmost importance that we participate and we don't wait for the next man thinking that they're going to do it and we can slack. Because that's how things fall apart. Everybody has to step up and put in their 2 cents. It's not about one man anymore. Nothing was about one man. But the brothers that knew Allah were lucky to have him. But even he made sure that they knew it ain't about me, it's about you. And they had to go out and do the work. This is a very important month. This is the 12th month. December, they call it the month of deception. Divine equality seed, destroy the evil as you see it. This is a personal thing. This is knowledge of self. So when I say these things, I'm saying it as it applies to you. I'm not talking about how you apply it to others, because that's not what we do. We teach knowledge of self so that our vision is turned inward and we're looking at ourselves. That's what it means to be civilized, right? Because the word civil means internal, like the Civil War was an internal war. Civilized means that your eyes are within, looking at yourself, destroying the devil within you. Everybody has to be responsible for their own selves. Right now, we're at a point in our history that it's a great time. The rights that women have won throughout the last 50 years and the power they hold now is so incredible. We have such powerful sisters within the nation. It looks like not too many of them feel welcome. And it's a lot that we're not taking advantage of our resources. It's straight up simple. The ego's got to be let go of, and everybody got to humble themselves and do the right thing. That's all it's about. It doesn't matter if you got refinement and the other brother don't. That's y'all. As a nation, you humble yourself and know we represent Allah and we got to handle this business, and people on the outside ain't supposed to see no division among us. Once you start treating your brother like he's not your brother because of this discrepancy in a word, a letter, a thought, or even a misunderstanding, let's say, then you're forsaking Allah. Because Allah is about the oneness. The oneness of Allah is the highest prayer a Muslim can recite. And the oneness of Allah is the greatest life that we can live as the 5%. And that means that we value the number one, which is knowledge, the black seed. The number one represents unity. The number one represents everything within the cycle, from knowledge to born, back to knowledge. Because it all starts from one and goes back to one. So everything else in between came from that one. But unless we choose to be one, it won't be 2 or 3 or 4, whatever else. You gotta build through it. You gotta keep on adding on until you become one again. It's natural to go through the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows of life. It's like my brother Alim tells me when I'm like, hey, yo, God, I'm getting tired of feeling these pains. He goes, well, I'm grateful, because I know when I ain't feeling no pain, I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta enjoy life for what it is and take everything as a blessing. We all gonna go through things. We can't let that bring us down. Every time you fall off your bike, you get back up and keep pedaling. Don't matter you scrape your knee, don't matter you hit your elbow. Some of us needed mommy to kiss it before we got back on, and some of us got back on without flinching. We didn't even notice we got hurt or started bleeding. But does that matter? No, the important thing is you get back on the bike. It don't matter what you did to get there. The only way to be a winner is not to quit, to be consistent. Not get depressed when your woman leaves you, when you find yourself doing things that you're not proud of. It's about, oh shit, I'm fucking up. Let me fix myself up. Let me get myself together and start all over again. Every day, they say, is a new life. There's no need to carry the bullshit for yesterday into today. Because we add knowledge from yesterday to today, and that's why the degrees grow every day. Now you have that experience or that knowledge to add on today. So we know wisdom, knowledge, and knowledge gives you wisdom, and we get. Tomorrow, wisdom, understanding. We're going to have the knowledge from the wisdom then. And with that knowledge, we're supposed to be able to learn and grow how to be better. If you feel stagnant, your mathematics aren't being used correctly. And I'm not talking about the old brothers that could just be feeling stagnant and miss when they were young and were able to go and dunk the basketball and beat everybody up. Because that too, I mean, I'm only 50 and I'm feeling it. And I know a lot of brothers in their 60s and their 70s and they still here holding it down. So don't take that as something that's not supposed to happen. We slow down. You know what I'm saying? We can't do as much as we used to. That's why we got to keep on teaching and passing it on to the future generations. So I mentioned the Son of Man, the subscriptions that are very important for what we're trying to do in the future. I want to speak also, well, touch based on, everybody knows March is Earth Appreciation Month. And there's a couple other things that happen, like February, you know, they got the Father's things. And there's other things, but Earth Appreciation Month is kind of something that Dumas made, like they call that shit? A cornerstone of our parliament. This is one of the most beautiful parliaments you'll be able to attend, but it's done correctly. Honoring the earths where the brothers cook, the brothers get gifts, and show out, united, because we all treat our women the best we could every day, or for lack of a better word, I hope you guys are. But on that day when we come together, it's when you see that 1 and 1 don't just equal 2. 1 and 1, when you add them up, it has more value than 2. Because unity is a value on its own. When 2 things come together, there's more power than those 2 things individually counted. What 2 things do individually, is less than what two things do combined. Because when you work together, your strengths and weaknesses are balanced out a little differently than when you're working by yourself. So if I know my brother mastered the student enrollment, and I got the 1 to 14 and smashed. So when the questions come up about the student enrollment, I shut my mouth because I know he got that. And if they come up to the Rosh Hashanah semester number 1, he shuts up because he know I got that. But if I was by myself, maybe I have to say, I don't know, I got to research that about something in the student enrollment. But as people come together, more things are supposed to happen than us doing things individually. Not to take anything for our personal responsibilities. We are responsible for our own hygiene, for our own budgets, our own health, our own families. But when we come together, we're supposed to empower each other. Things are supposed to be amplified, like Shambar used to write, 100 times forward. Because we're together. Because when we come together, you see the power of Allah. You don't just see the power of Mahdi. You don't see the power of Allah Shah. You don't see the power of Infinite. You see the power of Allah, which is, I'm talking about the supreme of all beings. From what I learned, what that man did and the time he did it, the information he got, it's like he had a download, as my brother Ezekiel Rahim says. It's like he got a download from the atmosphere. There's no way in hell he learned everything he knew and realized everything he realized from the Muslim lessons. Something else was in his brain that when he looked at anything, including the lessons, they just made sense to him in a way nobody else was making sense of it before. So a lot of us, yeah, we want to say we are Allah. Yeah, you are Allah, but there ain't no other man that's teaching better than you or knows better than you. Because Allah's going to be the best known in any sight. But when you're getting in a house like this, where it's God is God, you're just a man like I'm a man. You got to humble yourself. And I got to humble myself. And show and prove our righteousness. Like that's all we can do. And let it be. The social equality we were building. And that's what it's about. Right? Wisdom says, yes, sir. A lot of people would like to go into something I used to hear all the time. Well, yeah, they said yes, sir, but that really means asshole in African. Or something like that, or Arabic or some shit. But if you deal with any type of discipline, military background, even a work situation, when an employee tells you, yes, sir, it creates a certain expectation. It's like some brothers say, word is bond. When you say yes, sir, to me, I expect whatever we discuss to be executed. 100% right and exact. It's a sign of respect and taking ownership over something. A lot of people are missing that. Really are. The temperatures are dropping. It's starting to snow. At a law school around the corner, we cannot rely on UK and whatever other brothers are participating in maintaining that school to do everything. If you have a few extra bucks, you bring a bag of salt, bring a bag of salt. If you have an extra shovel, bring a shovel. If you're around when it snows and you ain't doing nothing, come shovel some snow. Take ownership. Act like you know. These are simple things. If there's elderly brothers and sisters that you know and love within this nation or within your physical family or within your colleagues, and go check on them. A little wellness check. You all right? You need me to come over? Or you sick? I'm going to make you some soup? Love each other. Take care of each other. Because these are the things that I saw all the brothers that raised me up, that were with Allah, that equality they had, we really fall short. Right now, we want to bicker about one word or, who said what 20 years ago? Who said what 50 years ago? That is crazy. Our unity and supreme equality is supposed to be foremost. We go handle things behind closed doors and come out as one. There's no separation in the Lord's house. From what my brother God Supreme calls the peripheral brothers on the outskirts to the brothers that's dead in the center. No matter what level you at, or where you choose to stand, or where you choose to sit, from the front row to the back row, there's no separation. We all got a job to do. We all make our choices. So, with that, I would say peace. I hope everybody really enjoys the rest of this year, and the next of the year, that the new year starts out pretty awesome for everybody. Peace.
Hey! My name is God Law. That was my good. That was my good. So I encourage people who ever heard what Monty was saying to take heed to that. That's my brother. I come from school, and my brother said that it don't need for me to go say the same thing. So let me say this then, right? So I belong, all of us, right, in the signs and essence of unity to an entity of men called the Office of Cultural Management, right? Entity of men here in this nation who have, who are about to go into the prisons and deal with those who incarcerated dead, right? Peace to God, born king in North Carolina, because he started with Noah, right?